Darwin never said the phrase survival of the fittest. And fittest never means the most rich or the most powerful or the most strongest. Actually, it was a philosopher named Herbert Spencer who coined the phrase, and Darwin only used it later in his works to explain about the process of natural selection. Now, here is where things get interesting. The phrase survival of the fittest is often used to signify that only the most strongest or the most richest people in the environment survive. But that was never the idea. It was used only to explain adaptability. The one who adapts best to the environment survives, not the dominant one or the strongest one or the most affluent one. For example, a small bird survives in the environment because its beak fits the food it has to eat. Or a bacteria survives in the environment because it adapts to antibiotics. But unfortunately, this phrase has been hugely twisted and misused, especially by the rich and powerful, in order to explain or justify one simple term, which is inequality. As if the poor are only poor because they are not the fittest. And being successful naturally makes you stronger, makes you more eligible to survive in the environment. And the idea of adaptability has been completely erased. In fact, this thinking has a term in society which is known as social Darwinism. Unfortunately, that is not what Charles Darwin said at all. In fact, he was never trying to justify society. He was just trying to explain how nature works. And here's the most important and fun part. In nature, not everyone starts from the same environment. So, if you are starting from a different environment, how can you expect the outcomes of everyone to be the same? Some people are born into very rich families with lots of connections, networks, and lots of inheritance. While some people are born into much poorer families where all they inherit is lots of debt. Hence, fitness in the phrase survival of the fittest is actually shaped by the environment which you're starting in. And of course, to that you add the factor of luck. Being present in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people often creates the change. And hence it is very shallow to say that in order to be successful, you just have to be very hardworking and talented. Because if the environment is not the same, or to be more precise, if your starting line isn't the same, how can you expect everyone's outcome to be? And that is why I strongly believe that using the phrase survival of the fittest, which has been widely misused and widely twisted, using this phrase to judge people is not at all correct. I may be wrong, I may be overthinking, but this is something that has been haunting me for some time, and I've been doing some research, and I would love to know what others feel about it. So please let's discuss and debate.